Welcome back to the show. So, as you can see, obviously, new location. Why? Because I no longer work for Artistry in Motion. So, I have the pleasure of being able to create what I want, when I want, for whom I want, and post whatever it is that I want. So, long story short, I got fired. Yeah. For posting that pink Barbie dress. I think I called it Pink Havana. If you scroll down, you'll run into it. Um, but I'm creating a jacket for a guy. He's a comedian. His name is T.P. Lucas. Hilarious. Let me throw a reel in.
Oh, I'm happy. I've never been this happy and excited in my life. Most of all because I am not at my house. They don't know how to treat the business paid around there at all. They don't know how to treat me.
So funny.
Matter of fact, I hope I look presentable. My wife get mad, send me out the house looking any old kind of way.
But anyway, so that's my homie right there. He's a local comedian here in Arizona. He does open mic nights. He does his headlines, his own shows, knows everybody in the comedy game. And I am blessed to be blinging out his leather jacket. So let me show you this jacket. I have to add some crosses to it, and he wanted me to hem the sleeves up an inch because they were a little too long for him, and that is what we're gonna do. Let me show you. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. This is Why is Tiffany So Talented, the show that I do to show you exactly what I'm doing when I'm not making shea butter soaps, hot cocoa bombs, and apparently luxury rhinestone tennis shoes now. So I am working on a leather coat this week for a good friend of mine named TP Lucas. He is a local comedian, and he asked me to pretty much be his stylist and hem the sleeves on his leather coat and give it a stage presence that would razzle dazzle the crowd. So that is exactly what I plan to do. The first thing we're going to do, though, is hem these sleeves. I did one side already and completely forgot to film it. So this second sleeve, I'll definitely do with you guys. I'm going to show you step by step exactly what needs to be done. So what I did was take my handy dandy seam ripper and rip the edges of the seam of the sleeve so I could find exactly the length that I needed to fold it up, and I did that. Put some pins in it just to get it exactly where it needed to be, because he said to only bring it up about an inch. So that is exactly what I did. That fold line that you saw was already previously there, so that is not included in the inch. And you see the lining there, right? That's the gray tone. So after I pinned the leather, I had to pin the lining back into it as well. So here I am in my pink bunny PJs, sewing the lining back on, trying to go in the straightest of lines that I could possibly do. I took off the front part of a sewing machine. I'm not sure if you're aware of the schematics of a sewing machine, but this one is an industrial brother Singer. Ooh. It's an industrial Singer, and I pulled off the front part of it to where I can easily slide the small hole of a sleeve into it. And I'm just slowly taking my time going around the circle. Yes, I leave my pins in. Sometimes it's to my own detriment and I end up breaking a needle doing it. But I don't always like to take the pins out as I go. And sometimes when I'm sewing very slow, like I am now, I'm okay because the needle will miss the pin. So I safely made it all the way around, and now I'm just going to take the pins out and look at my handy dandy work. I think I did a good job. How about you? You think I did a good job? You see, I tried to sew as close to that line where the lining is as I possibly could. There's my line for the inside. As you can see, it only shows in half an inch seam allowance on the inside, but it is in fact folded an inch. Now that the hard part is done, let's get into the stoning. So after 1,000 different crosses that I hand draw, I came up with those ones, these two. So I'm just gonna put them in strategic places, not all wonky like I just showed you. They're gonna be straight up and down. I'm gonna do a nice little frame around the lapel and then put Blind Faith in the back. And here's the colors I'm using. So I'm gonna use a gunmetal gray. I'm gonna use a midnight blue and a little bit of gold. All right, so let's get right into it. If you're new here, yes, I do put the dots down one by one. It is not just a continuous line of glue. If you want to move into the professional realm, you will need to learn how to steady your hand and do them one by one. Now, don't get me wrong. In some instances, you can do a line. If you were paying attention to the shoes that I made in the previous video, when I did the green vine lace, I put a line of glue. But for this one, I'm doing them one by one, the dots one by one. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. If not, open a window with a screen, turn a fan on so you can keep the airflow flowing and breathing nice fresh air. I personally like to face the fan to my face. That way the toxic fumes from the E6000 blow away from your face. But because you have the fan facing you, facing the glue tends to dry a little faster. Under normal circumstances, when I was working in a warehouse under climate control conditions, I could put maybe 50 dots down, come back, stone those 50 dots easily. But because now I'm working out of my home on my own projects and I don't have that ventilation system, I'll blow the fan in my face, drop down 10 to 15 dots, stone those 10 to 15 dots, and it's working for me. I don't know how many you can do, but do whatever works for you. Do the amount that works for you. I will be shortly selling my dabber pins. It's really nothing but a gorgeous pin that I find and the wax on the tip. What you see me doing here is changing the size. So I like to do and I like to use a variation of different sizes in stone. So when you order them from Amazon, and I'll put the link to the different stones, different sizes in the description, I like to go from the smallest to the largest. So I started at a 16 up to a 20, and around that V part in the lapel, I jumped to the size 30s. It looks good. I think it helps it to look more professional. Around the back and the nape of the neck, I'm gonna jump to size 40s, the really bigger ones. And I love it, I love it, I love it. I think later in the video, I'm gonna show you how I double line that, because right there is the jet color, jet black, and I'm gonna bring it all the way down, and then I'm gonna double line it in the gunmetal gray hematite. But it's looking good so far. I really like it. I bring it all the way down and just around the curve, thinning out my stones back down to the 16 around the bottom of the jacket. I had some extra black stones hanging around with the gold accent that I threw on the top. Now, let's play with the placement of these crosses. So as I said previously, I had to figure out what kind of cross I wanted to draw. So after I figured that out, I needed to figure out how to transfer the shape onto the leather. And as you can see, chalk did the job. So I chalked the outline and then outlined it right into the gold. I think that is a nice pop, nice standout shape. Don't you agree? So then I went in, double framed it with crystal, and filled the inside of the cross with some jet stones. And that, my dear, is a masterpiece. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now let's jump down to the bottom of the jacket and chalk those out. So as you can see, my shading kind of technique with the chalk, that is exactly what I did, because you can't necessarily draw a line with the chalk. Doing it this way just happened to be easier for me. But if you can do it, go for it. I'm gonna replicate that down here at the bottom, but I'm gonna use some of that midnight blue just to give it an extra pop, because I know he's gonna be wearing it with some denim pants, so I wanted to give a little bit of blue. And now I'm gonna go back in and fill that with the jet. I finished the other side of the jacket. I intentionally put two on the other side. Let me see if I can get it. These are the two down at the bottom pocket. I need to go in with my Q-tip and wipe my chalk lines away, as you can see here. Normally I would just take the chalk and just kind of chalk it out, but because it's leather, it wouldn't write as well as I wanted it to. So what I did was just crush up a little bit of chalk, put it on my finger, and then just kind of smoothed it on here like that. And just smoothed it like that and just left the shadow of it. And I like that. So that is what we're doing. And I'm gonna frame this bigger one in the gold like I did on the pocket of this side. So that one's gonna look like that. And then I'm gonna add 4 surrounding 1, 2, maybe. So 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, maybe one more 5 over here. But it's coming together really nice. See, I stoned the button, and then I double framed the lapel in jet on one side, hematite on the other. I when Hobby Lobby was going out of business, I went to every Hobby Lobby in the city and bought stones. Oh my gosh. I spent so much money. I was still working at Artistry then, and I had a price. I was given a price of buying stones from them, but it was still more expensive than in the store because Hobby Lobby was going out of business, and all of the everything was like 90% off. I don't know why they didn't buy stones from them, but that's either here nor there. But I'm gonna get into this, and I'll be back once the first frame is done. First frame. I literally came back when it was done. The entire side is done. I want to add one more, but I'm not 100% sold on adding one more. I think it's perfect the way it is. Hello, hello. So I was supposed to be filming a step-by-step kind of tutorial of this jacket, and I definitely got a little bit ahead of myself or beside myself and forgot to record certain steps. So let me show you where I'm at now. So I'm writing Blind Faith on the back of the jacket. I don't think I'm gonna fill it in with stones, but it looks good so far. And I'm almost done. I'm thinking about adding a cross here. I'm not 100% sure if I want it because it does look good without it. And it's due tomorrow. It is 11 o'clock at night now, and I want to go to sleep. So I think I'm gonna wake up early and do these two and be done with the jacket. But let me stand it up and I'll show you the finished product. All right, so this is the jacket. So I did a double frame, Jet and Hematite. I did a large cross here, two contrasting crosses on that side, a large cross down the seam, and two of the hematite and blue crosses here. I was thinking about adding another one here, but considering that it has one of the gold crosses here, I would want to put another gold cross here, but I don't know. I think it looks fine without it. But either way, and then a little design at the top, Blind Faith on the back. I think it looks great. Still not sure if I'm gonna add the cross in the center, but the show is tomorrow, so I gotta figure out what I'm going to do. You see how this stone right here looks separate? I think I'm just gonna take it off and re-put it back on closer. The jacket is done. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the time that you spend with me. Hopefully you're learning something about the technique and what to do, what kind of stones to use, what colors are great for contrast and for popping out on leather. The placement is always important. No, I ended up not adding that extra cross on the back because I thought that it just looked perfect. And I did come up with the shaping of those letterings all on my own. Here's my outfit of the night. I went to the comedy show to deliver TP his jacket in person, and I just wanted to get extra cute, and I think I matched the jacket. Actually, I should have just thrown it over my shoulder, got there and handed it to him, but I thought that would be doing a little much. I see you. Keep going. Turn around.